Good morning. Welcome to morning practice on Wednesday, April 17th, in the run up to this weekend and the big conjunction that we've been talking about. And then, not just we, a lot of people have. And that energy, can feel very anticipatory, just as it did with the eclipse. And just 2024 in general has been a year, I think, that many people have been anticipating. But with all of that, it's so important to stay present in the moment and not bring too much expectation or premeditation to what we meet as we go forward. We've focused a lot this week and last week on obstacles because that really has been what's been coming up, and both how they are useful in so many ways, and also profound gifts to reveal our own inner wounding to us. And today I just want to shift the focus from the obstacle to the goal. As we approach this conjunction, and whether or not you're astrologically inclined, because there are plenty of people that aren't, there's a lot of transformational energy in the air at the moment, and there's a lot of potential to make choices that serve the people instead of instead of selfish choices, instead of choices that serve the self. And I think the choices we make, again, we can talk about how we speak to ourselves. Do we speak to ourselves from a place of fear and therefore make choices from a place of fear? Do we speak to ourselves with an attitude of compassion and love and understanding, and therefore can make choices from a place of expanded compassion and expanded peacefulness that we want to foster, not just within ourselves, but within the community around us, to seed that beautiful, sweet heart love in each of us that we all know is there. And it can be an embattled experience being a human being. It can feel very much like you want to cover that up, not reveal the vulnerability because it feels vulnerable. And yet, this is the source of our great discernment, our great power, our great ability to see beyond the fear and see beyond the anger and act with compassion. And just in the daily acts around us, really bring a quality of love and light to our choices, to our words. Excuse me. We have so much potential in each of us. We are so powerful, each of us, and we're really given the cultural imprint that we're not powerful, and there's always external power making choices for us. But that is sort of a imprint of control, an imprint of a myth imprint of control, because if we don't believe we have power, we're not going to use it. But we have great power in each of us, and the seat of that power is in our hearts. So really tapping into our hearts through taking time each day, whether it's here in a morning practice or at a different time of the day, you can take time to sit with yourself in silence And if you can, bring the focus to the breath. And if you can, do some movement that allows you to have a more embodied experience with your heart space. Being in the body draws us into the present moment. And we remember the objective of our purpose is not to be reactive in fear or anger or frustration, but to seed love and healing for the collective. And how do I make my choices to seed love for the collective? In me, and that's where it begins. And for you, it begins in you, with the voice I speak to myself with and how I treat myself. And ultimately, then, how we navigate and treat each other. Have a sense of wonder about yourself. Have a sense of playfulness about yourself. Have a sense of curiosity about parts of yourself you might not know well yet. Allow yourself to explore what delights you, what fills your heart with a sense of innocence and magic. Yesterday, when I began practice, I noticed this light effect across the street. Of course, it's happening today again. I'm going to take a picture of it and maybe I'll put it so you can see what I mean. I feel like it's some kind of like ET symbology, like this is like a message for me, which is lovely, right? It's a sort of delightful, innocent, childlike way of playing with a trick of the light. And that's what I'm trying to foster. Be curious about what's around you and allow yourself to interact with it in a playful way, especially this body, this instrument of consciousness, this vehicle. And as we move and navigate, keep that focus on filling this with love, filling the experience with self-love, filling yourself with such a sense of deep love for yourself and appreciation of all that you are, all that you have, that as we move towards whatever goal it is, we see ourselves completely aligned with that. And there are no obstacles because we're simply moving towards the goal. And we're moving through anything that might appear to be in the way is actually helping us get to the goal. So we just simply move through it. It's not there. It's not to say it's not there because I don't want you to feel like I'm telling you to ignore obstacles there. That's or simply but it's almost like we're seeding love as if we have no apparent knowledge of even what the word obstacle, what that means. It's simply part of the environment that we're moving towards our goal of love with. And I hope that is somewhat articulate. Before we drop into meditation today, I noticed yesterday towards the end of the video specifically that the microphone wasn't really picking up well, and I apologize about that. I think sometimes with the course of the movement, it changes position, and I think that happened yesterday. So try and be a bit more on the microphone today, and technology. It should be so easy, but it's really about being present, like everything. So saying that, let's be present with ourselves and drop into a meditation this morning. And really, I love Wednesdays. I know I keep digressing. This is my morning practice with Olivia. I can make it what I want it to be. I do love Wednesdays, the kind of ease of energy. with Wednesday, in our trajectory of Monday through Thursday, it's the day I feel the most ease about offering the practice for just, detail reasons. And with that sense of ease, it's sort of like the things we look forward to in our calendar, like as they approach, you kind of feel your heart smile because this thing is coming that's going to make you feel a little bit easier and maybe a little bit more expansive. And there's this thing coming that will allow you to be in a state of pleasure or joyfulness or laughter, or connection. But ultimately, all connections are ultimately about the relationship that we have with ourselves. So fostering that in the daily practice, loving the heart space, loving the body, loving each other and this planet, that is the ground I want to seed with what I'd like to see grow. We have incredible potential to create a beautiful kind of as yet unknown harmonic as humans. And I really think the potential in 2024 is for us to really begin to understand our power in that, and our power beginning in the seat of our heart, in our brilliance, in our luminosity, in our radiance. So finding our comfortable seat, spine is tall. Feel the crown of the head reaching toward the sky as if you were imagining like a lotus flower on your head, and its beautiful circular petals opening to the sun above you. And the sun is always there, even at night. Or you might feel that your petals open towards the starlight, the moonlight above you. But just feeling this sort of sense of a circular spiral of lotus petals over the crown of your head, radiating opening to receive the light of the sun, of the cosmos, of the stars, of our star. And just letting the awareness trickle down from the crown through the internal space, feeling the body, feeling yourself grounding on the floor, where your sit bones are, how the support you're sitting on feels. And imagine there's just beautiful energetic root spiraling down from the tip of your tailbone deep into the earth beneath you. The cool, dark soil, miles and miles beneath where you're sitting, so that you are rooted deeply into the center of the planet. As the crown of your petals, of your flower, the crown of your head opens to receive the starlight of our sun, our star. And you may find a position of reverence with the hands over the heart space, prayer position. one hand over the other. You just may let your awareness settle in the heart. And allow yourself to really let your awareness fill the heart space and feel the light that emanates from the center of your being here. Feel your unique and beautiful light radiating out as you are rooted deep to the planet and your crown is reaching up towards the starlight of our sun. There's a radiance that comes from the center of you that fills all of you with such beautiful, clear light that is so uniquely yours. Allow yourself to be amazed by your own beauty. Allow yourself to be amazed by the beauty of your humanity. Allow yourself to be in love with the wonder of your own heart. Feel that light fill you, spectrum of rainbow brilliance emanating through the entire body, through the entire auric field. Your light emanating you infinitely in endless directions. And our heart lights together, brilliant, covering the planet in this shimmering layer of awe-inspiring love light. And if there is a person, a place, a situation in the world that you would like to dedicate and offer your heart light to, just bring that to mind. Make your offering, your dedication. What is your intention? And we'll take a few more moments in silence. And you're just going to let the breath deepen, feeling the heart space. And together we'll take one Om and allow your Om to really be lit up with the quality you would like to offer in your intention, dedication this morning. So inhaling together. Good. Slowly bowing the chin towards the chest, gently opening the eyes. You can let your hands drop to your lap. Let's reach our hands out in front of us. I have a band-aid on my finger, as if we were just reaching towards the screen, almost like you were pressing into your hands and feeling the space between the shoulder blades curling. And then we're going to place one hand on one shoulder and one hand on the other shoulder. And we're just going to give ourselves a hug here and thank ourselves for opening our heart in meditation. Allow yourself to just hold yourself for a moment and really feel proud of who you are and all you do and everything that you offer. And especially that you are taking this time for yourself, to love yourself, and to listen to your heart. So we'll do, oh my goodness, the time is going this morning, of course it is. Let's go over to the mat. Blocks are useful for practice, blankets can be helpful. I'll meet you on the mat. If you're already there, you can recross your legs or find a position that feels comfortable. One day I'm going to walk elegantly over to the mat. I've watched the videos and I've noticed when I go over to the mat after meditation, it sort of does tend to look a little bit like I'm hobbling, but that's, you know, that's what it is. I feel like let's do our gratitude breathing. And I'm just trying to think how we would like to do that. I am sitting on my heels, on my knees, but I'm actually going to sit in Virasana, which means I'm going to sit between my feet. I like to sit on a block between my feet. If you don't have a block, I suggest either sitting just in a kneeling position, or if you want to sit between your heels, that's good. It can be a little straining on the knees, so take a position that's right for you, and you can just press your hands into your feet. Your feet are flat on the floor, either side of your hips, and you might want to go back and forth here a little bit and feel if there's any wrinkly bits in the neck that need unwrinkling. And just before we just complete, well, you know, we were really genuinely fostering a sense of deep love in that meditation. And that deep love extends into our first breath of gratitude. So we inhale, the arms come up over the head and the hands come to prayer. Prayer comes to heart, excuse me. Oh, really, as the thumbs touch the sternum, it's almost like a physical connection reminder, as if we were touching an energetic point to say, I know what it is to foster love in my heart. I know what it is to feel grateful for this body, this heart that keeps me alive, that emanates such radiance, such luminosity. My crown of petals on my head, my roots deep into the earth. What a wonder it all is, and how grateful to be embodied in this experience. How grateful for this body, this extraordinary instrument of consciousness, this process, this moving process, not a fixed point, but an ongoing manifestation of energetic interaction. It's quite miraculous, the body. What a thing of wonder to be a human being embodied. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And inhaling, our arms will come overhead, hands come to prayer, prayer comes to heart. Just offering love and gratitude for each and every single person on this planet, especially you, and especially you, and especially you. For all of the things that each person does. You know, every single person is contributing their unique essence, their unique vision, their unique brilliance. And together we are creating this beautiful, I want to call it a coherence of oneness in our connections and conversations, in our fostering love inside of ourselves for each other. It's wonderful, and every single person is essential to the process. Thank you for being you. And then inhaling our arms overhead. Let's allow ourselves to just stretch up here with a little bit of a back bend, and then bring the hands to the heart. Such deep love, reverence, gratitude for this planet that we call Earth, that we call home, for nature, for every single piece of sentient intelligence expressed as a blade of grass, as a petal of a flower, mountain, the oceans, rivers, the deserts, forests, jungle, and everything that inhabits this planet. So beautiful. Thank you. That's felt nice. Let's all take a sigh in together. Breathing in and sighing it out. Noticing as I'm sitting here that my computer is making some interesting noises. I feel like if there is a problem with today's video and it cuts out, I apologize in advance. I feel like there is something going on with it. So we'll look into that a little bit more later today. But staying present with the practice, let's come up off of our seat and come up onto our knees. And you can just put the blocks to the side. And we'll put our hands on our hips and maybe bring the left foot out to the left. Your left edge of your foot is sort of parallel, but it's if it's at a slight angle, because it feels a little too weird to kind of make it perfectly parallel. It's just comfortably to your left. And you just have your hands on your hips here. And let's reach the chest to the ceiling. And then bringing the arms out to a T. Yeah, I saw a little flicker there, so we'll see how it goes. And reaching the right arm up and over. You can just let the left hand rest on the left leg. And then bringing the T back, feeling the openness of the chest expand. And you're going to bring that left hand down and lifting the left hand down, the right hand down, lifting the left leg, reaching the left arm up and over. And let's just find our balance here. Even gaze skyward, just feeling the core. And if you want to take the foot in the hand and turn the chest up, that might feel nice. And then you can release that. And we'll come back to gate, bringing our hands to our hips, and we'll bring the left leg in, the right leg out, bringing our arms to a T and just letting the right hand fall onto the right leg. Left arm up and over, reaching, really feeling the length on the left side body here as you press into the knee and shin of the left leg. And then extending those fingers just a little bit more. And then coming up to our T, and then bringing the left hand down. This time really the left hand. The right leg up and the right arm reaches towards the sky, and then let it just come overhead, and let's just find our balance here for a moment by ourselves. Feeling that length on the other side body, the right side body. And then if you want to grab the ankle and raise the chest, looking up to the ceiling, thinking about that amazing heart inside of you. And then coming back to your gate and coming down. We'll take just a very gentle camel here. So I'm going to face the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm placing my hands upward on the back of my hips and pushing the hands into the hips and lifting the chest. We're not going fully into a camel pose here, but we are just feeling the upward lift. And then we'll come down. And if you want, we'll reach the right hand to the right ankle, lifting the left arm up. And just finding that across the body. And then coming to center, left hand to left ankle, right arm up. And we'll take that once more on each side. Left hand reaching up as the right fingertips reach the right ankle or heel. And coming up to center. And extending. And we'll come back down and come forward to all fours here. We'll go into a puppy dog pose really briefly, really lifting the tail up. In fact, let yourself feel like almost a wider out. So your hands are actually in front of your shoulders instead of being underneath your shoulders, and you're really lifting the tail here before we bring the head and forehead down to the mat. And then you can curl up between the shoulder blades. It's kind of like a wider cat or a longer cat-cow. Curling up here, and then again lifting the tail. And then you'll just allow your forehead to come down, pressing into the hands. If you want to press up into the fingertips, that can feel good. Drawing the floating ribs in. And then we'll press up to a tabletop position. Lots of things to negotiate here. Taking that arch spine, rounding into the spine, tucking the toes, coming back into your downward dog, and just treading the downward dog out. Feeling the tailbone lift, pressing into the hands, just giving yourself a nice morning stretch, as if you were a dog or a cat. They just have that beautiful way of stretching in the morning, where they're pushing into those forearms and their paws, and those two front legs can really form this beautiful line of energy as they reach their tail into the sky. Just imagine you're a cat or a dog doing the same.
And then we're going to just gently walk our feet into our hands and allow ourselves to forward fold here. Just allowing yourself to a little bit. Maybe the sound you make with your throat allows the body to fold deeper over the legs. Nodding the head, wiggling the hips, and slowly rolling up to stand.
And we're going to step out to a wide 5-pointed star, reaching the arms out. And just find, again, like that. If you were, there's a great William Blake painting where it's like, Adam, I am Adam. And it's sort of like that expression of being human. So like if you can imagine your head reaching up as each limb reaches out, and then from the center of your heart, your light is shining. You are a 5-pointed star. You embodied as a 5-pointed star. A star reaching up and greeting the sunlight of our own star. And then we'll just bring everything to a goddess pose. So keeping the feet turned out, we'll bend into the knees. First, just making an offering. After that kind of bolder, more dynamic star expression, now we are receiving. We are receptive. Think about, there is something that you could really benefit from. Some act, some tangible thing. Imagine you're receiving it here. Receiving whatever you need in this moment to support you best in this moment of your life. Feel the quality of receptivity, and then we'll push back into a 5-pointed star. We'll turn the feet to the left. So the right foot is parallel. The left foot points towards the left edge of the mat. We're keeping our legs straight and going into triangle. So just reaching out over that left leg as far as you can. And then you can put your hand on a shin here. You can also put your hand on a block. Just find a place that keeps both sides of the torso long as you reach up and really internally rotating the upper thigh towards the lower thigh, which you're externally rotating up towards it, as if the two thighs could kiss. And really, as you find those rotations, that really brings the hips underneath you even more, giving this triangle pose more extension. It's feeling our triangle here. And then we're going to look down at that foot, come back up to a reverse triangle. Just keep that front leg straight and reaching overhead. And then we'll come back to our 5-pointed star and just go to the other side. So pointing the right foot towards the right side of the mat, left foot is parallel, reaching those arms, and then you just begin to reach towards the right, keeping your body nice and lifted. And then as you're ready, find the shin, the block, or the floor as your arm comes down and you turn the chest up to the ceiling. Really, again, as you bring those two inner thighs toward each other to meet, getting a better feeling like they're really, the hips are rolling in towards each other. You know, that doesn't quite sound right, but it really, in that motion of rotation, the upper thigh sort of internally rotating, and they're actually both internally rotating towards each other. That really gives the hips like this movement to bring them underneath you more, and then you get more extension in the spine from the internal rotation of the hips, or the thighs, I mean. That was a little inarticulate of me. We'll come back up. And we'll be Adam. Let's just reach again. Reach, 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 reach. And then come into your receptivity. Once more, receiving whatever it is that you need in abundance this morning. And then straightening both our legs. And we'll place our hands on our hips, raising the chest, and then coming down slowly, parallel. Hands can be underneath the shoulders here. And let's just take a moment here to feel with the spine parallel to the ground, feeling the crown of the chest, the crown of the head, reaching forward, feeling the hips rise up, and then releasing deeper into your forward fold from here. Allowing the body to really hang from the hip points. Breathing. And then we will press into our hands, pointing the crown of the head forward and bending into the right knee. Letting the left knee, letting the left knee turn out towards the left so the right leg straightens. Just a nice inner thigh stretch as we come into our Skandasana side lunge here. You can bring your hands to prayer. You can let the head come down towards the earth. And then using the pressure of the hands, we'll go over to the other side, extending the left leg long, bending into the right leg, finding your side lunge. Hands can be in prayer on the earth. And then we'll press back. We'll come to bring our hands to our knees. We'll just dip in that right shoulder, pressing into the right thigh, and then dip in to the left shoulder, or dip the left shoulder in, pressing the left hand into the left thigh. And again. And again. And then I'm going to parallel my feet, placing my hands underneath me, and bring one knee down and the other knee again, finding myself sitting on my knees. And again, I'm going to face the side so that you can see what I'm doing. We'll go back to taking a camel again. So we'll be up on our knees, and you can either do what we did before, which is just pressing your hands into your hip points and reaching the chest upwards. You can take one hand to heel and one hand up and alternate. If you want to go further, let's all take our thumbs into our armpits and lift the chest. And just feel that feeling as we keep the front of the body straight, parallel with the wall in front of us. We don't want to lean back so much as lift up. And then coming down. If you would like to go into your full expression of camel, whether that is putting the hands to the heels with the toes tucked, you can also put a bolster on the back of your calves and rest into that as you go into camel, or keep your hands, thumbs in the armpits and do this version, the alternate arm version, or if you want to place your hands on your heels and come into camel, you can do that. So just first of all, really feeling that extension as if the thumbs were still in the armpits, and really feeling the chest lift as you do reach back for your ankles, but then you bring the hips forward or letting them drop back. And allowing yourself to come out, sitting back on your hips, and just rest in one hand. Don't immediately fold forward. Let's just feel the sensation of openness you've just created in your heart. And just allow the awareness to be there. Do you feel the blood pumping faster? Do you feel a sense of excitement? Your heart is receiving more blood. We'll take one more camel pose. And with this camel pose, I really invite you again to connect to that brilliant radiance that is inside of you and imagine it spilling out of you as you are taking this pose. And wherever that is, even if it's just hooking the thumbs here and raising the chest and feeling your own radiance emanating out from you. Let's all take our expression of camel. And then coming back, sitting down on the heels, and just feeling the sense of wonder at the heart space. Maybe hold your heart space for a moment. Can you feel the beating of your heart a little bit more? Allow yourself to feel the pleasure and the wonder of what it is to have a human heart. Truly extraordinary. We'll come to our backs, just slide off to one side. And have the hips on the ground, knees point up, and just allow the knees to windshield wiper here. Just let the knees fall to the right and the left. Alternately, just make sure the microphone is okay. And we'll take a reclined twist. So you're just gonna find a position that's comfortable for you with the right leg over the left, or just bringing the knees to the left. We're gonna take the legs to the left as we gaze out to the right, but just find what feels most intuitively natural for your reclined twist. I'm taking eagle legs. That's my preferred reclined twist, but you take your preferred reclined twist. You can even extend the top leg. And then come back, bringing the left leg over the right, letting everything fall to the right. Oops, my blocks are in the way. And gazing out over the left arm. And then we'll come back to center. I'm gonna have us set up for a supported heart opener with some blocks. If you don't have blocks, you're going to roll some blankets together to just a long roll that can go along the length of your spine. Please make sure that your head is supported. That could be one long roll with a smaller roll for extra head support. If you've got blocks, we're going to put one on its highest setting here and one on a medium setting. This medium one is going to go between the shoulder blades with the bottom of the block here. This bottom of the block, that's going to be right at the base line of the shoulder blades. And then this is going to be comfortably under the head. And just, it can take some adjustment as we go in. So let's find that together. We'll roll down. Feeling the support behind the back. And you can have your legs in Baddha Konasana in a butterfly position. You can have your legs in just extended along the mat. Find the position that feels comfortable for you. Adjust your hat if your hat needs adjusting. And then just let the arms fold out. Let the hips drop into the mat. Once you find your position, just really let the weight of the body start to direct the pose. Let yourself sink in and let yourself be supported. Feel the strength of the support behind your back. Feel the strength of the support holding up your head. We'll lie here. Again, just noticing how it feels now to have support behind the heart, to be held, so that you can fully relax and release. Feeling the bowl of the pelvis sinking into the mat. Noticing where you might be holding any tension in the body, letting it release. If you would like to stay in the supported back bend as your final resting posture, which I recommend because it feels so good, you can just remain here. If you would prefer to not have the support and have a few moments in Shavasana with the body fully grounded, back flat on the mat, you can gently roll off to one side, off of the props, just very gingerly, and then put the props to one side as you make your way into Shavasana. And we'll stay here. Again, just letting the body fully relax and release. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And if you're still on the blocks, just slowly roll off to one side. If you're in Shavasana, just make your way to one side in a fetal position and rest. And then slowly we'll make our way to a seat, finding a position that feels good and comfortable for you. Let's find a moment to join our voices, just in praise and victory for the mother and each other. We'll sing Jai Ma. Jai is victory, celebration. Yes, Ma, the mother. In each one of us, we have the divine feminine, irregardless of gender. We each carry the seed to create life, all of us as humans. And we each have the potential to make choices to seed our love in the world. So let's sing Jai Ma together as we close our practice today. You can sing along or just listen to the good sounds. Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, oh Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. Let this last round be for each other. Jai Ma, hu Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, hu Jai Ma, hu Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma. And we'll inhale to Om. Namaste means the light in me is greeting the light in you. And that feels like the right expression to end our practice today. The light in my heart is greeting the light in your heart and is so grateful for everything you are and everything you do. Thank you for joining practice today. Hold yourself with sweetness, hold yourself with love, and seed that love into the world. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Have a fabulous and beautiful day. See you all soon. Oh.